F1 Academy is doing a really good job of making sure that we're taking the right steps, that we have the right knowledge going into the next thing, and then trying to get younger girls already from karting to be interested in motorsport.
Yeah, it's really like a build-up program in all the areas. And they really start to work with the very young girls already in go-karts.
Younger girls look up to that and they're inspired to start something.
Hi, I'm Chloe Chambers. I'm 20 years old and I'm racing for the Red Bull Ford Academy program operated by Campus Racing.
Hey, I'm Hausmann. I'm 18 years old and I'm racing in F1 Academy representing the Aston Martin Aramco Formula 1 team operated by Prema.
I'm Ava Dobson. I'm 16 years old and I'm racing with Togethxr as a wildcard driver.
It wasn't just like one day where you say, okay, that's what I want to do. It went step by step from starting when I was 7 years old. I think I started to really put my mind into going professional motorsport when I was about 13, where I was also really good at soccer when I was younger and I really had to decide which path I want to go. So there I really had to do the decision and choose what direction I'm going in. But I think it's like step by step. You know, there is not one day where you say that's when it happened. It's every day a bit more.
I think for me it was, I kind of had like a really tough year when I was in karting. And I think just making it through that year was kind of proof enough to me that like it's something that I want to do bad enough that I can get through those like tough years almost.
No, I definitely relate to that because I had a big crash last year that I thought, I don't know if it was over or not, and I really had to decide like this is what I like to do and this is what I love to do. So I definitely had to put a lot of work in after that to keep pursuing what I like to do. And when I was younger, I sucked at everything else. So my dad was kind of like, let's just keep you there.
Yeah, I think the nice moments are like by far so exciting that you really work through the bad moments and keeping in mind the end goal, which is standing on the podium and feeling happy and everything, so that you go through all the sacrifice. And I think motorsports, you have more bad days than good days, so it's about working so hard every day to go through the good days.
The whole goal of F1 Academy is to not necessarily find a girl like immediately to put into F1. Like, I think the good thing about F1 Academy is that they're not trying to rush it. I think for any driver, male or female, the worst thing you can do is just push them up farther than what they should be at the time, just kind of like trying to progress too quickly. So I think F1 Academy is doing a really good job of making sure that we're taking the right steps, that we have the right knowledge going into the next thing, and then trying to get younger girls already from karting to be interested in motorsport, both in the on-track driving part and also like engineering, mechanics, anything within motorsport just to get that interest started.
Yeah, it's really like a build-up program in all the areas, as I mentioned, like engineers even. And they really start to work with the very young girls already in go-karts. So I think it's a long-term program.
Yeah, I think the media presence is really good too. So like when you push out like one person, like obviously like you guys for instance, like people are like, oh, that's really cool, and like younger girls look up to that and they're inspired to start something, right? And then obviously the sponsors roll in and help you pay when you move up because it is really expensive. So
the good thing about F1 Academy is that it is just a fixed cost for the year, which is 7 races this year and last year. You're racing on the F1 weekends, like that includes like the team running the car, the race weekends, all that is included in that price. So like it's a big number, but when you take it and kind of split it up into the race weekends, all the test days that you get, like the cost of the team and everything, it's really cost effective compared to a lot of the other F4 series.
And you learn a lot of different things than in other or more normal championships, because here you get to drive on the F1 tracks. You get to experience how the grip evolution is on an F1 weekend, which is all...
You get to experience the tracks on an F1 weekend.
Yeah, exactly. When you crash, or when I did crash, I don't think about myself, oh, I'm hurt. I just think about the cars and how much work the mechanics have to put in, because it's so safe that basically never happens anything.
Yeah, because when I had that crash, I ran into someone at they were like a dead stop. You've probably seen it.
I was there.
Yo, you were there, yeah, exactly, yeah. So the kid was at like a dead stop and I went into him like at what, like 100 miles per hour. And like the car, obviously everything around it is damaged, but the whole idea of like an open wheel car is for everything to, the energy will explode out of it instead of like a closed cockpit car where it kind of like goes in. So yeah, I think about the same thing. I'm like, I felt so bad for those guys, but the car was like totaled and stuff. But the tub like saved my life. Like I honestly, if that happened in a road car, like you would have died. So their tubs are bulletproof.
Yeah, the mechanics by far have the most work.
Yeah, I do feel bad for them. So like,
Yeah.
Sorry.
Well, like F1 is kind of the leading like body of developing new safety items for like even on road cars and road safety. They do a lot with that. But like, you know, you go and say to somebody, oh, I drive race cars, and they're like, whoa, that's so dangerous. Like when you take into the fact that you can have some really hard hits and come out completely fine, that proves how safe the sport is. Like I've always said that it's more of a numbers game than like a lack of talent, so to say. Like when you take the amount of girls that are starting in karting compared to that of the boys, like there's much fewer girls. Like growing up, I would go to like a big race and there would be like me and like one other girl and it'd be like Ava.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, I mean, even if you just look at the guys, the amount of them that start in karting and then actually make it into Formula One is just so slim.
Yeah, the probability that you get a good driver out of 10,000 young drivers, which are men probably, is much higher than out of 100 girls. So it's as you said, a numbers game.
Even to make it into F1 in general, like it's just so difficult because there's only 20 seats and that's the 20 best drivers in the world. And then you're taking the drivers as well that have the budget to make it into that level. And I think that is probably one of the hardest things about motorsport. I just hope in general, motorsport becomes more popular. I think, I mean, of course, amongst younger girls and females in general, just to get motorsport more popular, but even like in the US, to see motorsport continually get more popular as the years have gone on since Drive to Survive has come out, I think that's been a really positive change. But yeah, I think just to see more girls wanting to get into the sport, either driving or just simply working within motorsport.
I would agree. I think it's going to take a while for sure because there's like the whole F1 Academy thing just started, and I think obviously the statistics of like younger girls are coming into it in karting, so I think it's just going to take like another at least, I don't know, a couple years for everyone. But I do feel like it is growing at a good pace, and I do feel like there are so many talented young females out there who aspire to be in F1 Academy or further. So I do think it will get a lot better.
Yeah, I think it's going to make like big steps. It's already starting, you know, to really grow and get more popular. And I think also the Netflix show about F1 Academy will be of big influence, I hope, which is dropping really soon. So no, I think being part of a positive change feels very nice. And I think we already are and will even more inspire many more people to get into motorsports and make a bigger presence for it.